Hello guys, in this video I will talk about entity class. What is an entity class? So entity class is a Java class that is mapped to a database table. For example, in the previous video I have a user table, and in this table I have 4 columns: ID, first name, last name, and email. So entity class is a class that have the name of the class similarly to this table name, and in that entity class we have 4 property that is mapped with these 4 columns in this table. And entity class it will be annotated with an entity annotation, and in an entity class we must have public protected no argument constructor. And to map the column of a table in the field in the entity class, we have the column annotation to map the field with the column of the table. So the column is an optional. That means we don't need to specify this. If not specify this field with an annotation of column, the column name must be the same name as a Java field, but it is not recommended. Okay, as you can see in the user table, I have a ID column, and this column will be the ID of the row. So to map the ID of the row in the table, we have the concept of primary key. Primary key is a unit value to identify each row in the table, and it cannot know. So primary key will be defined in the entity class with an ID annotation. Then we have an generation type. Generation type is a merchandise to generate the ID for the table, and there are four merchandise to generate the key. But in this video I will use the generation type of identity, and for the other generation type I will talk in the next upcoming video. Okay, let's move on to the coding session, and I will code an entity class to map the user table. Okay, to do that, I will come back to the Spring Boot project, and in this Spring Boot project I have an entity packet, and in that packet I have a user class. So firstly I need to define this class with an entity annotation to mark this as an entity class. The second annotation will be table, and the name will be user, and this name will be the same with the table name. And in the user class we have integer with ID property, and the column with name ID. This is to map this property with the ID in the user table, and we will mark it with an ID to define this in a primary key, and the generation value will be the identity. For the first name I will have another property is first name, and I will mark it as column, and name will be first name. The name here is the same with the name in the table. Similarly to the last name and email, I will create 2 more property. This is last name, this is email. Then I will create a new, I will right click on the class and generate. I will generate a constructor, and I will use this live code to generate a no argument constructor. Secondly, I will generate in second constructor, and I will use the first name, last name, and email. Okay, I don't want to use the ID because the ID will be auto generated by this annotation. Next, I will render getter and setter, and I will choose four of them. Then I will generate an toString, and okay. Okay, this that's all for an entity class to map this user class with a user table. And that's all for this video. See you in the next one.